another day and another cat across the street for Pablo. He's 10, almost 10, but that interest in imposters does not die down with age. Pablo. Suzanne Ullman here, heart failure nurse, and coming to you from my front porch in San Antonio, Texas. Grew up in Seward, Nebraska, and go Big Red. I'm hoping Pablo will just lie down. Let's see. Yes! I can also affirm to you that he's breathing heavily because it's hot and his breath is bad. So, I thought we'd talk about a couple of things today. Number one, can a virus have a nationality? It's very interesting. I am quite familiar with the virus hepatitis C. I don't have it, but I have biological family members who have died from it. And they acquired it in Nebraska in the 70s while doing activities with needles. So the question is, should we just write them off as people with a bad Nebraska virus who got it because they deserved it? Or should we just say that they had hepatitis C and they were human beings? So in my line of work, it's a lot easier if you just say they had hepatitis C and then treat the disease. We just don't have time to figure out who to blame. The sociologist Brene Brown says something so great about blame. She says it's a way to discharge pain and discomfort. And boy, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one feeling a lot of pain, discomfort, anxiety, angst, and crispiness these days. That's my new word for how I feel, because I really do feel sometimes like the anxiety and fear makes me feel like someone just popped me in the deep fat fryer at Dairy Queen and pulled me up in a basket with an order of onion rings. Okay, the other thing I was going to do is a little visual aid and just teach you a little anatomy of the human heart. Okay, so look how complicated and beautiful we are. Look at that. I realize my drawing is not going to compete with Da Vinci's anatomical drawings, but I want you to go where it says IVC and SVC. That's the right side of your heart, and that's where the blood comes into the heart from the body that's already used up oxygen and given it to all our cells. It goes then to the right atrium, which is the top of the four chambers of the heart, and then is pumped down into the right ventricle, and then pumped from the right ventricle through the pulmonary artery into the lungs. Woo! Then it spends a little time with the alveoli, and we all remember those, right? The little sacs where the oxygen exchange happens, breath after breath. Amazing. So once it's received the oxygen, it comes back in through the pulmonary vein to the left atrium, pumps down into the left ventricle, and then is ejected in triumph through the aorta to the rest of the arteries in the body, where it gets distributed to the cells and they take up the oxygen molecules, and then it circulates back and ends up on the right side of the heart to do it all over again. Can you believe that? Everyone has that system. Even Pablo has that. And I have had my hands and my eyes in the innards of people from all over the world. I have been in kidney transplants between African American and Hispanic people. I have been in prostate removals of rural Indian farmers, as well as hysterectomies. I have watched the liver transplant of a Native American or indigenous person. I don't know how to tell you this, but it all looks the same on the inside, all of it. There might be some variances in lab levels for kidneys for people who are descended from this type of person or part of the world. But all this blame and wanting to label things that aren't the same as we are is just, unfortunately, it's not real. But this, it's happening right now in me. It's happening in Pablo. And if you can hear her, I'm not sure how birds' hearts are shaped because they're not mammals, but it's probably happening to her too. So, in for 4, hold for 2, out for 6, and try to remember how your heart is doing it. So fast, so efficiently, so lovingly, right? Until tomorrow.